we finished the game in the middle of it. Like, this is not good. We're not having a good time. Experience. We tried it again because I really wanted to like it, and it was the same. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great. My name is Elena. I'm best known as Geek and Pink, the girl with the half face on Instagram. Today I'm doing something completely different, like way out of my comfort zone. That's why I'm sitting down, because it's something different. I always talk about board games that I loved and how happy they made me, but these board games in special, they didn't brought joy to my life. They weren't like the worst board games ever, but they had one thing that maybe like it wasn't great for me. And some of them I was really surprised, because a lot of people were like, oh, this is my like the best board game ever, and for me it was like I did not enjoy the experience of playing this game. And for some of them I had to try like again and again, because I thought maybe it was people with whom I was playing, or maybe someone was not like in the mood for board games, or maybe I like explained the rule bad or something. So for some of those games I tried it over and over and over again until I realized, okay, it's just I don't like that board game, and because it's not gonna grow like my love from one day to another. So I just stopped trying. Well, I don't feel that crazy when I don't like a board game, because it can happen. Maybe that's not the board game for you, and it's not that the board game is bad. It's like you don't like the board game, and it's okay. Everyone has like, oh, I like this one and I don't like that one, and it's like totally normal. And maybe someone could be like, but I love that board game. Why is it that you don't like it? It's totally normal. Like, the board game can be for you or it cannot be for you. And for me, those were not the board games that I would keep in my collection. So let's start. I'm gonna start with a game that I tried and tried and tried, and I really tried to like that board game, but it just wasn't for me, or maybe I didn't like the experience of it. But I know that it's like in a lot of players like the best board game ever. There is a normal game about this game, and there's this version. I'm talking about Splendor Marble. I haven't tried Splendor, just to be clear. I just tried Splendor Marble, which was something funny because I won this game on a giveaway when I was like maybe 6 months into Geek and Pink, and I got into the giveaway, and it was like amazing because I won. Really wanted to try it because I have heard a lot of great things about Splendor, so I thought it should be the same. And I talked with some people about it, like I didn't like Splendor Marble, and they were like, oh, it's because it's different to Splendor Normal. And I was like, oh, maybe because I haven't tried Splendor, like the normal version of it, and maybe that's a great game. But for me, Splendor Marble, it wasn't a great game. I don't know if it was the hype. I was like expecting like fireworks after I played that game, and the fireworks just didn't arrive. And I played it, I tried it several times, and I just like stopped trying because I said maybe I should stop trying because it's not for me. And that's Splendor Marble. For me, it was like too simple, but I love Century Golem, and I think that it's like very similar. Like, you're trying to achieve the gems, you're trying to win the gems so you can win the golems. And in Splendor, it's kind of the same, because you're trying to win like the chips so you can win things. But Splendor Marble just wasn't for me. It felt like too simple, but I like simple games, so it was something weird. I'm thinking it should be the hype. I was expecting like this, like a great game, and when I played it, it wasn't great for me. It wasn't a bad experience. I wasn't like, oh, middle of the game, let's stop playing, because I have had that. But with this, I finished the gameplay, and it was like, oh, okay, maybe we should try it some other time. And we did, and it wasn't. So that for me is like my first choice of like game that I didn't like. Maybe it was, I don't know. I tried it. I swear that I tried it. And I hope that this doesn't bring me like a lot of hate. because this is just my thought. I tried that game and it wasn't for me. I haven't tried the Splendor normal version, just Splendor Marvel, and it wasn't for me. And I love Marvel. His second choice is one that I heard talking about it, because I don't know the designer, but it's a friend of mine on Facebook. He made Titanic, and it's not a bad game. Maybe if the theme was different, like the thematic of the game, it was different, it would be an awesome game. But I have watched Titanic a lot of times, maybe like 50 times or something. I know the movie, I have seen it a lot of times, and when I played the game, I was expecting like the experience of the movie, like, I don't know, Jack and Rose trying to run away and be happy or something. In the movie, you watch like Cal being such a villain, and he's trying to like separate them, and you're like, oh my god, I hate him. And also Ruth, Rose's mother, was also like not a great person. Well, she was thinking of her daughter, but well, you didn't see them in the movie trying to run away in the boat and trying to save the people on the Titanic. You watch them all trying to save themselves. And in the game, you're like you're one of those characters: Carl, Jack, Rose, and Ruth, like Rose's mother, or Carl, it was Rose's fiance. And you act as one of those characters, and you're trying to save the people on the boat, which didn't happen on the movie. And it kind of disappointed me, because when you're playing a game that it has such a strong thing like Titanic, like a movie that everyone has watched before, and you do that, like something that was like nothing that we saw in the movie, it was not for me. We played it and it was like, okay, we're trying to save people, and you're trying to put them on your boat or something, and it was like, and the boat starts sinking, and if you're on the sinking part, you're drowning, and I don't know, that just wasn't for me. Maybe the theme, if it wasn't for the team or the characters, it would have been different. Or maybe like you would try, if it were like Jack and Rose trying to save people, which didn't happen as well, but they were good. If they were trying to save people, and Cal and Ruth were trying to like do everything else, like being the bad guys as well, like in the movie, like trying to drown people or something, it would have been different. But it just wasn't for me. My third choice is one that I bought before I was kicking pink. I saw it on a sale. It cost me like $15, which is a lot for a game that you don't like, but I thought it should be great because I watched a video of Geek and Sundry. I love them, and they were having such a great time, and I thought it's such a fun game. And once I bought it, I tried it, and it just wasn't for me. It's like a game where you're like using your cards, and I think you're arming your character so you can defeat the other persons, and you're throwing cards, like bad cards, at them. It just wasn't for me. The artwork, it's not great, and I know it's a game that a lot of people are like in love with it, but I don't have a lot to say about it because it was a long time ago. But I remember we finished the game in the middle of it, like, this is not good, we're not having a good time. We were like 3 people trying to have a good time, and the 3 of us were like, okay, this is not great. We should stop now and let's do something else. And that's what we did. So yeah, that's Munchkin. My 4th game of 5 games that I didn't enjoy, it's called Jurassic Park. I don't know if you've seen it. It was a time where I was kind of starting on Instagram, and I saw a lot of people posting the game. The pictures looked great. Everyone was talking like highly about it, and I thought, this should be a great game, Jurassic Park. I don't know if you heard about it. And you're putting tiles, and you're trying to like put little, I don't know how they're called, but like little pieces on the middle of them, so you can like cut the tiles with your pieces, and then grab some parts of the dinosaurs, like the bones of the dinosaurs, and if you get like a full dinosaur you get points, and if you don't get the full dinosaur you win like part of the points. I don't remember that much of it. I just remember I tried it and I tried to like that because it was great, it looked great, everyone was talking highly about it, and for me it was like, okay, I'm trying to cut this and someone is putting also her pieces or his pieces, so we can cut that part and then we can take those parts, and we're trying to assemble the dinosaur, like each one on their own. But we were like, this is it. Okay, the board game is beautiful, the components are great, but for me it was like a meh experience. We tried it again because I really wanted to like it, and it was the same. It was like, okay, let's try something else, please. My fifth and last choice is Unfair. This is a good game, but I don't like the part that you're like, all the game you're aiming for one thing. You're building your amusement park, and you're putting all your effort in one part of your park, on your amusement park, and someone can get in and say like, okay, that's not working anymore, and you're like, the whole game you're like putting things to upgrade it and like working for it, and it comes to a point where it's pointless because someone is gonna come and destroy everything you built. And it's not like great when you're trying so hard for something and someone can come and destroy everything, because it's not fun. But that's why it's called Unfair. Maybe this is for a lot of people who are like good into being mean and they don't care about building like a thing for their park in maybe 20 minutes and then someone comes and destroys it. It was just not for me. And it's also there's a board game called Funfair, which is like the less mean version, because you cannot destroy the parts of the amusement park. But for me, Unfair, it's such an unfair game, and it was just not for me. It's not that bad, but I prefer to play something else. Those were 5 of like board games that have like gone from my collection, because I went all Marie Kondo when I talk board games. Like, I have to feel love for them, and if I don't feel the love for them, I just say goodbye, because those were not for me. And I hope it wasn't that bad, but just remember, I'm just a girl. I like to play board games. I do this for a living, and I like to have fun with board games. And when I'm not having fun, I stop like trying to have fun with them, because some board games are not for me, and it's okay. It's totally understandable. And this is for everyone. If you don't like a board game, you don't have to like it just because people say so. It's just you, and if you don't like it, fine, that's great, and just stop playing it. There are a lot of board games in the world, and you don't have to like a board game because everyone says. Okay, I hope you like the video. Thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe and like the video if you like to see more content about board games. I'm here, and if you have any questions, or if you want to talk about it, or if you want to like say something mean, please don't do it. Don't worry. No, I'm just joking. Whatever you want to say, I'm here. Just remember to follow me. I'm also on Instagram and on TikTok. Bye.